Chapter 47 to 48. Same time Skypea. While the fight was happening in Alabasta, things were going peaceful in the Skypea. Gonfal and Chief were doing their usual thing, while the Skypieans were living how they live. Many more Skypieans were joining the militia, as unlike before, it was a free to join now. Though obviously, there were requirements needed. Riki and Wiper were training, while the other kids were also doing the same. The adults were repairing the ruins, while the slaves were working to death, albeit nobody died yet. Surprisingly, they weren't treated as bad as they thought they would when they were captured. Yes, they work a lot, however. They get good food to eat and a nice place to sleep. Humans like sleeping in golden beds after all. Not only Skypea was like this, even the Burka was the same. Enel was still planning to kill, however. He didn't have much progression in it, especially with a few Shandians living here for reasons he wants to be aware of. Yes, there was Due, with his collection of sea prism bullets. Now, with the tower above Giant Jack, Amon can keep track with Burka by Due and others. In the end, Amon didn't like loose ends after all. They were collecting information about the legend of Thunder God, using which Amon is creating a story. Back to Alabasta. After everyone fell unconscious, along with Hina, a few more marine captains arrived in Alabasta. They were surprised to see the unconscious pirates and bounty hunters, but the thing that surprised them most was the teenager sitting on the shore with an unconscious girl on his lap, as he was stroking her hair. Though some captains went to attack him taking this as sexual harassment, the ones who recognized his identity stopped in their tracks, as they also thought of the possibility of the girl being his partner. From far, Hina watched the scene with narrowed eyes, while Amon waved his hands at her. Before anything interesting could happen, King Cobra arrived with a large army. A few hours later, the Marines arrested all the unconscious pirates with the help of Captain Hina's ability. By that time, the bounty hunters also regained their consciousness. Robin stayed silent, while the others celebrated their win. Currently, Amon was talking with King Cobra, who had royal guards around him. Yawn. Amon yawed in tiredness. King Cobra, I did as you asked. No death from your side, all of your citizens are alive. Amon said towards Cobra, while he had his arms around his head. I'm hoping to get my payment as soon as possible. Some of my people are severely injured. Ha ha ha. Cobra laughed full-heartedly. Don't you worry, Hunter. I'm happy seeing every one of my citizens doing fine. Please wait, 10 billion is a big number after all. I have sent someone already. He was very happy that his citizens were uninjured. More so that the pirates didn't even get the chance to cross the seashore. All thanks to the young man in front of him. Giving 10 billion as payment didn't seem so big now. Though some of the guards did ask him to think twice, he already decided things. Happy to work with you. Amon gave his hands for a handshake, as Cobra accepted it. Hope we will work like this even in the future, Cobra said with a smile. Amon smiled hearing him. We will work together, soon enough. Now, if you excuse me, Amon pulled his hands back. I'd like some food and sleep, he said and started to walk away. Seeing this, Cobra got a little flustered. Hunter, you can come to the royal palace and have some. Amon just raised his hand. No thanks. As he was walking towards a hotel, he glanced at the Marines mourning the dead bodies of the pirates. He was specifically looking at a brown-haired pirate girl in her 20s. Without much weight, Amon just shook his head with a smirk. She was good until she lasted. In all actuality, Amon was the root of this whole attack and alliance of pirates. Though the two other pirate crews other than the Jammy pirates weren't aware of this. Chuckling, Amon entered a tavern. A few hours earlier, Captain Jammy was laying on her back. Gasping profusely, she looked at her chest. A feather had penetrated her heart, while she was living her last breaths. Ha ha ha, I can't believe I trusted that bastard, she said as her eyes closed. Who was that bastard anyway? As the last drop of tear fell from her eyes, she fell into a deep slumber. A month ago, after the rainy day with Robin, Amon visited the Jammy pirates in the disguise of a tiger mask and white robe. He used sleeping gas on their 7 ships, while only keeping one single fleet, the main ship, out of it. The others attacked him, as he did the same. That day, a battle of 3 hours escalated among the man in white and the Jammy pirates. Amon didn't reveal his wings, since his identity might have gotten out. Though he did use his dials, since many bounty hunters of his guild use them, albeit low-level ones. Nobody would question his identity, at least not the pirates who have close to non-existent detailed information on bounty hunters. There, after he defeated them, he killed the doctors of all the ships, only the doctors. Before the others could exclaim their shock and confusion, Amon poisoned the captain in front of them, and left after leaving a place and a date to meet the captain alone. The place where she would get the antidote, which Jammy, the captain, did after 15 days of unbearable pain. The ordinary doctors that a pirate like her could reach couldn't do anything about that type of poison, so she had no other choice but to go and meet the man in white. After she came to the place and met Amon, he gave her the antidote, which after getting it, She attacked him when he had his guard down. Unfortunately for her, it only brought misfortune for her beautiful young and feminine body. Afterwards, Amon used another poison that would have killed her in 3 months. And this time, her key to the antidote was to create an alliance with the other 2 pirates and attack Alabasta, which she had to accept as she recalled the death, numbing pain of the last 15 days. While doing as he asked, she died by his own feathers in the process. In the end, Jamie didn't even know the identity of the person who did all that to her. Asterisk. 2 days later. Nitsorobin POV. Tap, 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 tap. It's been 2 days since our battle in Alabasta. We returned as swiftly as we reached there. The guild has 3 special ships that work using those things called jet dials. I'm currently walking through the hallway of the mayor's building, going towards Guildmaster Lucifer's room with a large bundle of paper in my hand. They consist of everything that happened this week. I don't usually do this job, but the one who does this is injured from the last battle. Tap. Stopping for a second, I look down on the shining floor. Months ago, it was modified with a special material that generates substantial sound when someone steps on it. This way, the chances of infiltration and assassination are low. This idea was of Lucifer's, of course. If I have to be honest, this type of cautiousness is just dangerous. I mean, this whole area is surrounded by guards, and even Lucifer, the one who lives in this building, is strong enough to repel even the strongest. Maybe not the strongest, but most of the people I know of. Nonetheless, this is good for him, I presume. None of my previous bosses were this careful, and maybe that is also the reason for their fall. I don't know why he's so cautious. It's not like he does that many illegal activities. I'm getting late. Ignoring these useless thoughts, I then started to walk forward again, and soon reached the door of his office room. Asterisk knock. Knock. Asterisk. I knocked on the door and waited patiently. No answer came. Asterisk knock. Knock. Asterisk. This time, I waited a few minutes, yet the result was the same. Maybe he is asleep? He seemed tired, and his elegant wings were also injured trying to protect me. Sigh. I released a long breath. This isn't the first time I was saved by my bosses. It's just I can't find any selfish reasons behind this one. Or maybe, if I look in the long run, me surviving will help his guild. But is a random subordinate like me more valuable than his wings? Sigh, this is not why I came for. I already went through this for the last 2 days. As I assembled my composure, I again knocked on the door. Knock. Hello, Mr. Lucifer? Even after my call, he didn't answer. Maybe he is not inside. Should I return? But that's improbable after all. It was he himself who called me here half an hour ago. Wait, could it be? An assassin? There are many cases like this before. Some survivor pirates escaped from the bounty hunters of our guild, while their crewmates were either killed or captured. Those survivors came to Whiskey Peak and attacked anyone in sight out of spite. Though an assassination attempt never happened before, it's not impossible. What if the pirates made an alliance like the one we faced last time and came to assassinate the leader? I'm coming in. Without delay, I opened the door as it made a creak sound. Mr. Lucifer, are you okay? I looked in front of me. The boy named Lucifer had his distracted gaze falling in his wings. I have been knocking for minutes, and he... Sigh, this is my fault. Oh. Suddenly, Lucifer flinched as he looked at me. Miss All Sunday. Why are you here? Never mind. Welcome. He looks too flustered. How much did he let his guard down for those wings? So I was right. His wings aren't a part of his devil fruit. Or there would have been no need for this type of behavior. Then what is he? A bird? Or a real angel? Or an experiment subject? Sigh, it doesn't matter for now. Currently, it's my fault for his damaged wings. I was too surprised seeing his power back then. Only if I was careful enough. Cough, please sit down. His fake cough interrupted my thoughts. I was thinking something very important. But I'm resolved now, haha. Important. He laughed, as his wings became smaller and hid within his back. I'm sure they didn't just vanish. This is one of the rare occasions where I have seen him this flustered. He's a kid in the end. Title. She hasn't matured yet. Cringe warning. General POV. Amon released a cough and acted like nothing ever happened, while Robin released an unnoticed sigh. So, miss. All Sunday. Ugh, why the fuck is your name too long? Use another code name. Amon said in a grumpy voice as he leaned back on his chair. Robin stayed indifferent at his words and opened her mouth. You can call me Robin if you want, she replied after much delay. Amon was genuinely surprised hearing her, as he smirked internally. This is not the first time he asked her for a new name, but she never changed them before. Yet, now she revealed her real name, albeit still under disguise. The current Robin is only 19 years old. She hasn't achieved the maturity that she will have 10 years later. Amon thought, trying to calculate why she acted this way. Soon he smiled. Oh, like the bird Robin? Amon asked with an impressed tone. Such a short and beautiful code name. Then call me Gabriel if you like. I will go with that nickname, he said as he leaned back. Hearing Amon's tone, Robin giggled. No, I'm very fine with Lucifer. Really, just Lucifer. He jumped forward. Thank you. No, I mean Mr. I get it, don't be shy. Amon cut her, as he slopped forward and rested his chin on the table, while he started to drink juice from a long straw. I quite mind you adding Mr. I'm just 13 years old, after all. It's cringe when you add Mr. before my name. Robin blinked, just blinked. What, 13 years old? He is 170 centimeters tall, so he must be joking. Soon, she giggled. Foo foo foo. My, I knew girls tend to lie about their age, but it's the case for Mist, Lucifer too. She corrected her words at the last moment, as she felt the gaze from him. Amon smirked internally. Who knows really? Nobody asked you to believe it, anyway, he said as he looked away, with his face becoming a little red. A smile bloomed in Robin's face involuntarily as she looked at his averted gaze. He's so cute. Ah, I want to tease high, I know. Suddenly her eyes grew. What am I thinking? This is... No. Just no. Phew, I need some fresh air. Robin, being still very young in this timeline, wasn't mature like the Robin in canon. For that reason, her trust issues were at their peak, however. It was something Amon was completely aware of. Robin got up from her seat, with her face becoming motionless. Mr. Lucifer, I remember I have something to do. I will take my leave now, she said with a bow and turned around. Oh, okay. Amon looked ahead and waved his hands, as Robin left through the door. Yet, he was laughing internally. Is this stage 3 denial I see? Damn, and it's only been around 4 months since she's been here. Well, she is still inexperienced. I will form her as I like. A few seconds later, Amon sighed loudly in disappointment. She left, huh? He mumbled. I needed someone to apply some medicine on my wings. It's hard to do it myself, after all. Amon released a chuckle, a mocking chuckle. Well, it was too much of me to expect her to do it, ha ha ha. He released a long sigh and sloped back on his chair. Who am I to her anyway? Just a boss in the end. I will just do it myself. Creak. Suddenly, Robin entered with a straight face. Mr. Lucifer. She didn't even realize her shudder. I suddenly remembered. I'm kind of free and I'd like to apply medicine to your wings. She didn't flinch at all, as she said those words while shuddering. Amon just looked at her with a frozen expression. Oh, you haven't left? Haha, did you hear anything? Amon said as his face turned full red. Being able to blush at will is a blessing. Amon obviously knew she would return since she didn't straight up leave and was halted on the other side of the door, as he was suppressing his grin currently. She didn't even realize how robotic her words sounded just now. Amon thought with an achieved smile in his mind. Feels good when things are going according to what I want. Robin just looked at him with strangeness sweeping within her eyes. Just now behind the door, when she was preparing to leave, she recalled his words from 2 days ago in Alabasta. Hashtag, 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 hashtag. 2 days ago, she regained consciousness before many others did, though Amon didn't realize. However, she just kept pretending because she felt Amon's hands stroking her head, while he was talking to himself. This is strange, Robin thought. So he's finally coming after me too? While I'm unconscious too. Disgusting. And here I thought he saved my life out of... Sigh, why are people like this? Before Robin could think anything else, she felt a hand on her head. Would you look at this big girl sleeping like a little princess? Robin felt his hands stroking her cheeks, rendering her stunned. However, she felt his hands removing her cheeks as she heard a sad sigh. Phew, I almost mixed you up, huh, Miss All Sunday? He said as Robin stayed silent. Just how much do you resemble my little sister? She was caught off guard by his words, but she was supposed to be unconscious, so she held herself back. Haha, now that I think about it, I kinda miss her, my little sis I mean. He said again, putting his hands on her head. She's been alone up there, in the sky for 2 years now. Maybe she is lonely being alone. One day, soon enough, maybe I should also go up there. Haha. Will anyone miss me from down here? I don't know. His hands stopped stroking her hair. Some may, but some may not. Forgive me, Miss All Sunday. I almost used you as a substitute, though I still have hope to make you into my big sister if you'd like. Ha ha ha. Fuck. While Robin was shocked, Amon's self-talking was cut short as he noticed the Marine fleets arrive. Hashtag, 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 hashtag. As Robin recalled his words, she gulped inwardly. What did he mean by sky and lonely? Is his sister dead? She thought, looking at the surprised face of Amon. The current Robin had no clue of the existence of Sky Islands. Actually, it makes perfect sense if I think it through. But most importantly, his words also sounded like a will before death. She thought as he looked at his large red and innocent eyes looking at her. He misses his sister, so he wants to meet her. But since she's dead, he can only do it by committing the same thing. Robin thought as she reached her conclusion. Then it also makes sense why he never tried to pursue me before, and only stared at me now and then. It's because he saw his sister in me. Robin thought, Jay, just how much do I resemble that girl? While thinking this, she looked at Amon with her eyes wide. Amon could predict her thoughts to some extent. This won't work, obviously. People don't like being a substitute for someone else. He predicted her next thoughts. I already said sorry when she was sleeping, though. I'm sure she took that into account. Seeing Amon looking at him with confusion, a strange feeling started to bloom in her heart. Then, if I stay with him, will he treat me as his sister? Will he ignore his suicidal thoughts? Will I find another family? Will I get to live my life? Will I be loved? Aga, no. Get a hold of yourself, Robin. Robin bit her lips and shook her head rapidly. I don't have the luxury to play sister. I also don't have the luxury to become a substitute for someone else. Things will change. What if he finds someone who resembles his sister more than I do? What if his sister isn't even dead? But he also said, he wants me to be his BHHG. Trying her best to think things through, her head started to hurt. A few minutes passed, but it felt like an eternity to her. Soon, Robin released a calm breath. The past 2 days, she's been in a dilemma. A complete dilemma, but she finally reached her conclusion. Grandline's danger and protection from a stranger made me rely too much on him. He, in the end, is just an ant before the world government. She thought as she smiled. Seeing her smile, Amon also smiled. Haha, look at her. She's so easy. Dancing in my palm. I want to continue doing this, but she needs emotional support first. While Amon was observing all her thoughts, Robin was there with a calm mindset. I will leave the Grand Line. I'm grateful for my days here, days with him, I really am. So I will do him a favor and leave the Grand Line soon. Or things will be very messed up. Robin thought as she released her usual teasing smile. Mr. Lucifer, I meant to say I saw it, your wings still injured when I entered the room. So I was saying, I can help you put medicine if you'd like. She said as Amon smiled brightly. Oh, really? Thank you, Robin. Amon said in exhilaration. Robin ignored his shudder and came close to him, while Amon kept smiling. Currently, Amon was grinning sadistically in his head. 2 days ago, he obviously said those words knowing she was awake. He expected some kind of outcome, but never did he think it would work this well. He knew something important, something he's been using all his life. Hope, pity, and guilt. 3 words, hope, pity, and guilt. Using pity to lure victims always works, doesn't it? Then there is hope. Using it, people will act out of character. But guilt, it's hard to create that type of emotion inside someone. Amon thought. Robin was behind him, applying the medicine. She is in denial. She can't accept being a substitute. Well, I did add more words, and as time will pass, she will realize things can be changed. Once she is attached to me for real, even being a slave won't hurt her, let alone a substitute. That time, she will be more than happy to be a big sister. Amon thought, her emotions are telling me that she wants to leave? Amon then went full calculating mode, trying to think of the best outcome of all things. Though there are benefits if she leaves, those are shit. So no, you can't leave. The moment you stepped onto Whiskey Peak, you were under the gaze of the hawk. You were a prey from the beginning, Nico Robin. Amon thought with a cold smile in his mind. Amon again started to calculate things. The actions he needs to do to keep her here at her own will. First, I need to show her love and care, more than what I'm doing until now. I will also have to let her know about the world government and the celestial dragon. Though she does have a little knowledge on them, it is too measly. Amon thought, I need her to, from her core, hate the world government, the ones who burned her home. Looking at her blue eyes, Amon was thinking what level of stupid she was. It's hard to believe why she didn't hate them in the canon timeline, though I'd guess it's because of Akiji. She was scared as shit of him, that she didn't even get the chance to hate them. However, I need her to hate the WG this time around. In this timeline, she needs to be a ruthless bitch. It sounded hard to achieve, changing a person's whole life goal, yet Amon chuckled. If she was 28 like canon, then it would have been nigh impossible to manipulate her as I wanted, so I would have rather killed her. But, luckily, she's just 19 and still hasn't matured like canon. I can do whatever I want with her weakened min. Ugh, be gentle. Amon flinched from the pain as Robin was applying the medicine. Things were going forward, as smoothly as they should and could.